the second session of the geography class, Agriculture. In this session, we will discuss about what are the geographical conditions required for the growth of crops like tea, coffee, and non-food crops like rubber, jute, cotton, etc. Also, we will discuss about what are the technological and institutional reforms taken by the government to improve the life of the farmers and to improve Indian agriculture. Today, let us discuss about food crops other than grains. First, sugar cane. It's a tropical as well as subtropical crop. It grows well in hot and humid climate with a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius and an annual rainfall between 75 centimeter and 100 centimeter. Irrigation is required in the regions of low rainfall. It can be grown on a variety of soils and needs manual labor from sowing to harvesting. India is the second largest producer of sugarcane only after Brazil. It is the main source of sugar, gur, and molasses. The major sugarcane producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, and Haryana. Oil seeds. India is the largest producer of oil seeds in the world. Different oil seeds are grown, covering approximately 12% of the total crop area of the country. Main oil seeds produced in India are groundnut, mustard, coconut, soybean, castor seeds, cotton seeds, linseed, and sunflower. Most of these are edible and used as cooking mediums. However, some of these are also used as raw material in the production of soap, cosmetics, and ointments. Groundnut is a kharif crop and accounts for about half of the major oil seeds produced in the country. Andhra Pradesh is the largest producer of the groundnut. Linseed and mustard are rabi crops. Sesame is a kharif crop in the north and rabi crop in the south India. Castor seed is grown both as a rabi and kharif crop. Tea. Tea cultivation is an example of plantation agriculture. It is also an important beverage crop introduced in India initially by the British. Today, most of the tea plantations are owned by Indians. The tea plant grows well in tropical and subtropical climates, endowed with deep and fertile, well-drained soil, rich in humus and organic matter. Tea bushes require warm and moist, frost-free climate all through the year. Frequent showers evenly distributed over the year ensures continuous growth of the tender leaves. Tea is a labor-intensive industry. It requires abundant, cheap, and skilled labor. Tea is processed within the tea garden to restore its freshness. Major tea producing states are Assam, hills of Darjeeling and Jaipalpuri districts of West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh, and Tripura. India is the leading producer as well as exporter of the tea in the world. Coffee. India produces about 4% of the world's coffee production. Indian coffee is known in the world for its good quality. The Arabica variety, initially brought from Yemen, is produced in the country. This variety is in great demand all over the world. Initially, its cultivation was introduced on the Baba Buden Hills, and even today, its cultivation is confined to the Nilgiri in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Horticulture crops. India is the largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. India is the producer of tropical as well as temperate fruits. Mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. Oranges of Nagpur and Cherrapunji. Bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Pineapples of Meghalaya, grapes of Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra, apples, pears, apricots, and walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh are in great demand the world over. Non-food crops. Rubber, cotton, jute are the non-food crops. Now let us first study about rubber. Rubber is an equatorial crop, but under special conditions, it also grown in tropical and subtropical areas. It requires moist and humid climate with rainfall of more than 200 centimeter and temperature of above 25 degrees Celsius. Rubber is an important industrial raw material. It is mainly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Garo Hills of Meghalaya. India ranks fifth among the world's natural rubber producer. Fiber crops: cotton, jute, hemp, and natural silk are the four major fiber crops grown in India. Cotton, jute, hemp are derived from the crops grown in the soil. Silk is obtained from the cocoons of the silkworms fed on green leaves, especially mulberry. Rearing of silkworms for the production of silk fiber is known as sericulture. Cotton. India is believed to be the original home of the cotton plant. Cotton is one of the main raw materials for the cotton textile industry. India is the third largest producer of the cotton in the world. Cotton grows well in drier part of the black cotton soil of the Deccan Plateau. It requires high temperature, light rainfall or irrigation, 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. It's a kharif crop and requires 6 to 8 months to mature. Major cotton producing states are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Jute. Jute is known as golden fiber. Jute grows well on well-drained fertile soils in the floodplains where soils are renewed every year. High temperature is required during the time of growth. West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, and Meghalaya are the major jute producing states. It is used in making gunny bags, mats, ropes, yarn, carpets, and other artifacts. Due to its high cost, it is losing market to synthetic fibers and packing materials, particularly the nylon. It was mentioned that agriculture has been practiced in India for thousands of years. Sustained uses of land without compatible techno-institutional changes have hindered the pace of agricultural development. In spite of the development of sources of irrigation, most of the farmers in large parts of the country still depend upon monsoon and natural fertility in order to carry on their agriculture. For a growing population, this poses a serious challenge. Agriculture, which provides livelihood for more than 60% of its population, needs some serious technical and institutional reforms. So let us study about what are the technological and institutional reforms introduced by the Government of India to improve agriculture. The collectivization, consolidation of holdings, cooperation, and abolition of zamindari, etc., were given priority to bring about institutional reforms in the country after independence. Land reform was the main focus of our first 5-year plan. The Government of India embarked upon introducing agriculture reforms to improve Indian agriculture in the 1960s and 1970s. The Green Revolution, based on the use of package technology, and White Revolution, Operation Flood, were some of the strategies initiated to improve the lot of Indian agriculture. But these two led to the concentration of the development in few selected areas. Therefore, in 1980s and 1990s, a comprehensive land development programs were initiated, which included both institutional and technical reforms. They are provision of crop insurance against drought, flood, cyclone, fire, and disease, establishment of Grameen banks, cooperative societies, and banks for providing loan facilities to the farmers at lower rates of interest were some of the important steps taken in this direction. Kisan Credit Card, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme are some of the other schemes introduced by the Government of India for the benefit of the farmers. Moreover, special weather bulletins and agricultural programs for farmers were introduced on radio and television. The government also announces minimum support price, remunerative and procurement prices for important crops to check the exploitation of the farmers by speculators and middlemen. So these are the reforms introduced by the government of India to improve agriculture and farmers of India. Now let us discuss about the contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. Agriculture has been backbone of the Indian economy, though its share in the gross domestic product (GDP) has registered as declining trend from 1951 onwards. The declining share of agriculture in the GDP is a matter of serious concern because any decline and stagnation in agriculture will lead to a decline in other spheres of the economy, having a wider implication for the society. Considering the importance of agriculture in India, the Government of India made many efforts to modernize agriculture. Establishment of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, agricultural universities, veterinary services, and animal breeding centers, horticulture development, research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecast, etc., were given priority for improving Indian agriculture. Apart from this, improving the rural infrastructure was also considered essential for the importance of Indian agriculture. Now look at this table. Here it shows India's growth rate of GDP and major sectors, agriculture, industry and service. From the table it's clear that even though GDP growth rate is increasing over the years, it is not generating sufficient employment opportunities in the country. Look at in agriculture in 2015-16 it's just 1.1, industry 7.3, service it's 9.2. So that means it is not generating sufficient employment opportunities in the country. So the growth rate of agriculture is decelerating with alarming situations. Today, Indian farmers are facing big challenges. Now let us see what are the challenges they are facing. Today, Indian farmers are facing big challenge from international competition, and our government is going ahead with reduction in the public investment in agriculture sector, particularly in irrigation, power, rural roads, markets, and mechanization. Subsidy on fertilizers is decreased, leading to increase in the cost of production. Moreover, reduction in the import duties on agriculture products have proved detrimental to agriculture in the country. Farmers are withdrawing their investment from agriculture, causing a downfall in the employment in agriculture. What are the impact of globalization on Indian agriculture? Globalization is not a new phenomenon. It was there at the time of colonization. The 19th century European traders came to India for trade. Indian spices were exported to different countries of the world, and farmers of South India were encouraged to grow these crops. Till today, spices is one of the important crop to export from India. During the British period also, Indian farmers are forced to grow indigo on their land only because it was necessary for textile industries located in Britain. Today, Indian agriculture finds itself at the crossroads. Now let us discuss about the impact of globalization on agriculture. During the British period, cotton belts of India attracted the British and ultimately cotton was exported to Britain as a raw material for their textile industries. Cotton textile industry in Manchester and Liverpool flourished due to the availability of good quality cotton from India. You studied this in history lesson, Nationalism in India, about the Champaran movement which started in 1917 in Bihar. This was started because farmers of that region were forced to grow indigo on their land because it was necessary for the textile industries which were located in Britain. So they were forced to grow only the indigo crop, or they were unable to grow food grains to sustain their families. Under globalization, particularly after 1990s, the farmers in India have been exposed to new challenges. Despite being an important producer of rice, cotton, rubber, tea, coffee, jute, and spices, our agriculture products are not able to compete with the developed countries because of the highly subsidized agriculture in these countries. Today, Indian agriculture finds itself at the crossroads. To make the agriculture successful and profitable, proper thrust should be given to the improvement of the condition of marginal and small farmers. The Green Revolution promised much, but today it's under controversies. It is being alleged that it was caused land degradation due to overuse of chemicals, drying aquifers, and vanishing biodiversity. The keyword today is gene revolution, which includes genetic engineering. A few economists think that Indian farmers have a bleak future if they continue growing food grains on smaller land holdings. A few economists suggest that Indian farmers should diversify their cropping pattern from cereals to high value crops. This will increase the incomes and reduce the environmental degradation simultaneously. Because fruits, medicinal herbs, flowers, vegetables, biodiesel crops like jatropha and jojoba need much less irrigation than rice or sugarcane. India's diverse climate can be harnessed to grow a wide range of high value crops. Here, a few questions are given. Please write the answers in the notebook.